of Vera Earl Premium Beef.
Hi, guys.
Not a stranger to the show or to the live streaming events.
Not
this
at
is
all.
definitely something that you're used to, right?
Yes, this has been here a couple times, maybe just a time or two.
We're really excited to have you in and talk about what makes Vera Earl beef so premium and so tasty. Really quick, thank you to our amazing sponsors. That's SAACA, the Southern Arizona Art and Cultural Alliance, and Catilyst Creative Collective. And you can actually rent this space out. That's right. You can actually get in this space. You can use the kitchen as a commissary, depending on what you're going to be making. There's a cookie lady. If you remember earlier in the month, uniquely made cookies is in here. We also have our humble boards and Mr. Ice Guy. And Mr. Ice Guy is a lot of fun. It's Italian ice.
I'm always down for Italian ice,
Right?
especially in this weather.
Awesome. So, Sonora, let's start with the beginning. Tell us about Vera Earl Premium Beef, where it is, and what makes it unique here in Arizona.
Yeah, so for you guys who don't know who we are Vera Earl Premium Beef. And Vera Earl Ranches. We're a third-generation ranch down in Sonoyta, so just, from where we are now, about an hour-ish southeast. And but we're up at 5,000 feet about elevation, so it's a little bit different than the deserts.
High desert.
Yeah, very high desert. It's rolling grasslands. It's absolutely gorgeous. So we're a third-generation cattle ranch. We've been down there since 1968. The ranch itself was founded by the current owner's grandfather, Burton Beck. Burton and his wife, Betty Ann, toured the Southwest when he went to retire, looking for someplace warm to settle down. Small conglomerate of 3 ranches. And what started as a small grouping now spans over 200,000 acres on 3 very large ranches. And we are primarily a cow-calf operation, but about 5 years ago we started Vera Earl Premium Beef, which is a ranch-to-table beef company that's located pretty much right here at your doorstep, and most people don't know it. We raise all of the cattle that go into the program. They're going to be born, bred, fed, finished on the ranch. Everything is 21-day dry-aged. No hormones, no antibiotics, verified all natural, and it's USDA processed and inspected. And we have a little store down there in Sonoyta. We actually deliver up here to Tucson as well. So if you're interested, you can go check us out at our storefront in Sonoyta. Give us a call. Check out our website, which is vepremiumbeef.com, and let us know what you think. We'd love to be your local beef supplier.
And that umami flavor you're missing from all your grocery store beef.
I like to say we're pretty progressive in the way that we do things. We incorporate a lot of technology into what we do. We actually have an app. I was just showing somebody this earlier today, actually, so it's kind of cool that you brought it up. We have an app, and it's called AgriWeb, and it actually allows us to do live tracking of where the cattle are. It takes satellite imagery, and we overlay our pastures on it. And so we can actually keep track of where the cattle are. We can also look at where they were. We can look at records, how many days they were there. That ties in with another program that we use called RanchBot, which is live water tracking at all of our large drinkers. And then it also has rain tracking. So I can actually tell you essentially live stream how much rain different areas on the ranch are getting. Now, unfortunately, this year, that app is not getting much usage.
Okay.
We haven't had a ton of rain, but...
No.
But
not yet.
yeah, so y'all need to get out there and do your rain dance with me. That would be great.
Or the cafe,
yes,
baby.
You need to stop by Dos Cabezas first.
There you go.
And then do your dance after you've had a glass of wine or two. Always helps. But yeah, I mean, so ranching in the modern world, we're progressive in the way that we bring in technology, but we're also very old school. We do everything horseback. We don't do it via UTV. We're very traditionalist in that way. It creates kind of a calmer, quieter setting for the cattle. Everything we do is very low key. You see things on TV sometimes, people running around and hooping and hollering, and that's not accurate for how we want to do things.
Yeah, fair enough. Yes. No, it was every time I've been out there, it's very calm, it's very structured, and everybody has their job, and they do it. That was quite the experience because it was a branding and
to enter what we call our fall works right now,
okay.
And so branding comes in the spring is a very big part of the year, and then you come into fall works, and it's just as big and just as important and just as absolutely crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it is sustainable ranching. Can you talk about that program a little bit more, because that's a really cool program.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do a ton of sustainability work, not only in the way we operate the ranch, but also in the way that we care for the grasslands, both that are adjacent to us and that we graze on. So one, we do a lot of rotational grazing. It's called a rest rotation process. Cattle will be in one pasture, we'll rotate them out. That pasture will be rested for a year, and so it allows those grasses to come back. We always make sure we're not overgrazing. We work very closely with other outside agencies, BLM, NRCS, U.S. Forest Service, State Land and Water, just to name a few. They all come in, they watch the range as well. So not only are we watching it, but we're being observed to make sure we're taking care of the grasslands. We also graze alongside about 17 endangered species, including the Chiricahua leopard frog. There's a little pupfish. There's some riparian areas that we graze alongside. And so we always make sure that we take care of those. We consider ourselves not just ranchers, but stewards of the land. And our goal is to always leave the land in better condition than what it started.
Incredible. And that's what it comes down to. It sounds like you're doing a really great job at that.
Well, it's our livelihood. So it kind of makes sense. There's so much science that goes behind the range management and the grazing, and honestly, like I could get into a little bit of it, but I couldn't even begin to touch the tip of the iceberg there to really get into what all it takes.
Absolutely. So you're tuned into the Tucson Tasty Show. We're here live at SAACA Catilyst Creative Collective. And what separates the premium beef from what people usually buy in the grocery stores?
Yeah, so the first part that kind of separates us obviously is we're local. So, we're here, we're in your backyard. You can come down and visit me, and you can see the cattle on the ranch that will eventually go into our program.
Very, very happy cows, too.
They're very happy cows. We've had a lot of people say that. They're in big pastures, they're pasture raised. And so the way that we always say it starts there, right? So all the cattle, again, they're born, bred, fed, finished on the ranch. So those calves are being selected for their genetics. They're born, they're raised, they're all grass raised with their mothers. We bring them in the fall works that I was talking about. We'll wean them. Our weaning is a very slow process as well. We keep the cows just on the other side of the fence. It's kind of no high stress situations is what we try and do. Same thing with the cowboys. Again, methodical, low stress. So we'll wean them. And the cattle that come into our beef program, we're going to look at them depending on what they weigh. They may get kicked back out on grass, or they'll be brought into our grow program. So they'll come in and they'll go onto a grower ration. Our ration is sourced all within 200 miles of the ranch. So the ration is a mix of corn, hay, molasses, vitamins, minerals, and sometimes like wheat screenings or different grains from Wilcox. But again, everything comes from Wilcox, Marana, Amato, Buckeye at the furthest for some of our hay, and then our molasses blends comes out of Casa Grande, and that's got the vitamins and minerals in it.
Incredible.
So we feel if you're supporting local, we should be supporting local.
There's a local molasses maker.
There is, yeah, there is. I know, you'd never know that, right?
No, yeah. I am surprised every time.
So, it's livestock molasses, but still, you would not want to eat it.
No? I don't know. I really like molasses.
But, so, everything starts there. And then what really separates the beef is kind of what happens after. So it's all USDA processed and inspected at our processing facility partner, which is Cattlemen's Processing. They're located over in Cochise. And what happens is when those cattle go to harvest, it's a 3-week hang. So it's a 21-day dry age in a cooler. So to kind of give a little side note on dry aging, so dry aging versus wet aging, a lot of the beef that you get both at the store and sometimes in restaurants is going to be wet aged. So essentially what happens is that beef is cut, it's hung, and it's put in a bag, and it sits in its juices. So with dry aging, what happens is that it's cut and it hangs, and it just hangs. Sometimes you may go to like a high-end steakhouse and they'll dry age subprimals. So we dry age the entire thing. So that way everything from your high-end steaks all the way down to your ground beef is going to be dry aged. And what dry aging does is it does a couple things. So that moisture is evaporating out of the beef, and then break down. And so it actually tenderizes the beef. So it's kind of a twofold process. Will absolutely blow your mind.
So think of the protein as springs, right? And
Yeah.
when you break down the springs, you break them in half, and then when you cook it, it doesn't tighten up.
That's a great
So
way to. Why am I talking? You should just do this.
no. I'm just
No,
I
like
enhance
that.
it.
That's
Yeah,
a great. That's a great analogy.
and it's really important because that it also gives it that unique flavor, and the fact that you're doing the whole cow 21 day instead of just parts of it. You also get ground beef that's 21 day dry aged,
Yes.
and all that unnecessary moisture has been removed, right? So my favorite thing to do with it is make smash burgers, because when you smash the patty, it doesn't evaporate,
Right, it doesn't shrink.
and
Yeah.
it doesn't shrink, and that happens a lot with grocery store beef.
Yeah.
So you're not adding unnecessary things into the beef either, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So, we're not, we don't use any hormones, we don't use antibiotics, no animal byproducts. Some people refer to that as like a never ever program. We are third party verified on that. We are verified all natural. And we actually get held to those verifications. We get audited physically every year by multiple agencies that we work with, both IMI Global and GAP. They come out, they watch us work the cattle, they look at all of our records. We have very meticulous records about what cattle went where, when they went. Each animal that's in the beef program is fitted with what we call an EID tag. So most cattle, everybody knows cattle have ear tags. Well, these are just little round tags, and each one has a very specific number. It's kind of like a social security number. No other animal in the United States has that number. And so when
So it's
they're
cattle
on,
with credit cards.
there you go. When they're on the ranch, and we get ready to send them to the processor, we will take just kind of like a wand, and it scans it, and it tells the computer this animal is now leaving this location and they're going here. And so if, say, they were going from our ranch to another ranch, we would then scan them in at the second ranch. So not only is it a social security number, it's kind of like provenance in art. It tells you where that animal has been and where they've come from, so you know what programs they've been affiliated with. Now, again,
That's
for the
incredible.
beef program, those cattle never leave our ranch, but it's just that they become part of that audited program, and we know they're no longer here, they're here, and it's a traceability program,
Right,
is what they're
absolutely.
called. Yeah, so
So it makes so they can track for many different reasons why, or with the cows, and that's important for not only the health of the animal, but also our health, right?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, and right now, I will say, we don't trash conventional agriculture. I mean,
Sure.
our bread and butter is still conventional ag. So it's not to say that the meat at the store that you're getting or that you would get from the store is not safe to eat. I'm not saying that at all.
No.
But I will say that, yeah, so we don't put any additional stuff in there. And again, you'll see the difference when you do that cook down. The moisture's out. There's no water. There's no water additives.
Water
There's
coming out.
anything-
Yeah. And because a lot of places use some amino acids and they inject it in the beef and then
Tenderize.
to tenderize it, and then they're cutting it or butchering it and putting it on the shelf. I know that one of the biggest providers of beef probably in the country, they do that because you can watch them do it. And I'm not going to say, I'm not going to call anybody out because there's nothing wrong with it. It's a very just standard way of processing the meat, and it elevates the flavor. It also elevates the tenderness and everything.
Right.
But if you can do that with your beef by dry aging it and treating the cows right and raising them properly, then
Right.
why wouldn't you want the better? But it also has such a unique flavor. I
Yes.
can tell instantly when I'm cooking Vera Earl beef compared to not Vera Earl beef. And I'm pretty sure my neighbors can at this point as well.
Hey.
But, because every once in a while, if I'm doing a stew, if I don't have a chunk of beef to cut up, I'm not going to cut up a chunk of beef because it's stew, right? So, but if it's a roast or something that we're really, going to enjoy, we definitely go out of our way to make sure it's the Vera Earl premium beef.
Well, thank you.
Of course.
We appreciate that.
And but when you're cooking the beef, you want to do something an extra step, right? Because you want to make sure that it has that little bit of tenderness. I typically do a dry rub, and it's literally like 2 tablespoons of salt. I rub it down. I put it in the fridge the night before, and I let it do its thing, and then I rinse it all off and pat it dry. before I cook the beef, and that just helps to take it that extra next level. But
Yeah.
I also like salt. So
That's I mean, I do it a little bit differently, but I always tell people salt and pepper, but especially salt. And I think something I've learned, especially being in the industry a little bit more too, is just a little bit of finishing salt after you've cooked, sliced the steak, just a little sprinkle.
Oh, yes.
Salt makes those flavors pop. And I think it gets such a bad rap because people are like, oh, it's way too salty. But if you use it properly, it's not overly salty, and
Absolutely.
it just brings those flavors to the next level. So I totally agree with the salt thing. Like,
We have a friend of the show, and he makes a smoked salt, pepper, and garlic. He calls it his SPG, and it's a mesquite smoked, and that
you
stuff's
actually get
amazing.
like 4 flavors with that
Oh,
thing, 'cause you're like
yes.
bringing that mesquite in there. So that's awesome right there.
You can pan fry a steak, and you get the smoky flavor at the same time. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. And
Yeah.
his name is I'd Smoke That, and Steve, calling you out, it's amazing. So. Let's talk about, we talked about sustainability. Let's talk about health. We talked about health. But why should beef be a staple in everybody's diet?
Well, I mean, I know like massive, like obviously, like there's
Broad
always been
strokes,
like
of course.
red meat, no red meat, like all the diet fads and current things change. But as much as people sometimes may not think it is a sustainable protein.
Yes.
In that, kind of like going back to what I've said, if the grasslands are a rancher's lifeblood, we're going to take care of them versus, and I'm not saying, again, nobody else, I'm not downing any other things, but I'm just saying like so much of it.
Yep.
And you have all of this backyard, like local beef available to you, whether you're in Tucson or not. I mean, you could be in Nebraska, and I know there's plenty of good beef back there. So you should always support not only, American, but support your local guys too, and bring that kind of like full circle, because again, it's all gonna come back. One, your local economy. Two, again, that sustainability side of things. Like for the most part, everybody is doing their part to make sure that we take care of the land that we're working on, and it's gonna stay that way.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, just like for an example, again, when it comes to the sustainability of beef as a whole, I mean, there are ranchers out there who are like Ian, who have actually created conservational easements on their own ranch land so that it will be a ranch in perpetuity. It can never be developed. And it's people like that who go out of their circle thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're so proud that we've been partners with Vera Oral Ranch for such a long time.
Yeah.
And
It's been at least a couple
we wouldn't be
years.
here without you. So thank you for that. And if you are a restaurant or a local chef listening, remember that the Tucson Tasty Show offers advertising and partnership opportunities to highlight your brand. Visit thetastyshow.com to learn more. And more with Snora from Vera Oral Beef. Did you have anything that we missed? I mean, what's new and up and coming? I know you're going to be, let's talk about Salsa, Tequila, and Taco
Yeah.
Championship. It's kind of been the highlight of everything this week.
Yeah,
You're going to be
definitely
there.
leading up to it. Yeah, so really quickly also, I just want to say, like, we do work with both retail and wholesale. So if you are interested as a restaurant, we love local partners. We're always looking to partner with new chefs and restaurants. By all means, hit
Absolutely.
us up. And in fact, speaking of partnerships, so La Chingada is going to be serving our beef in their tacos up at the competition here on Sunday. So we're excited to see how that goes.
It's going to be tasty is what it's going to be.
It's going to be
they might win
extremely
just because of the
tasty.
beef. Just saying, you got to go make sure you go get some of that because it'll go fast.
Yeah, and then, another thing that's coming up is Sonoran Restaurant Week.
Yes.
And I know for a fact that, so I know La Chingada is doing more of I think they're actually doing like a vegan spin that week. But Neighborhood Downtown, they're going to be utilizing our beef for that, for one of their special dishes. And then actually Sawmill Run, all the way up on the top of Mount Lemon. Yeah, they're going to be serving our skirt steak. So
Really?
yeah, we're kind of excited. He's also doing a smoked canoe marrow up there. So if you guys need a little trip to escape the heat, by all means, head up.
When is this again?
It's, I I think it's like the second week of September. It's Sonoran Restaurant Week. I know it's right around the corner.
Yeah, it is.
And I know everyone's talking about the tacos and tequila first.
Well, that's because it's
that's
put
the
on by
next thing.
SAACA, and it actually helps to
That is
support
true.
SAACA. So
that is true.
You know,
And I believe did it sell out already?
not yet. You can actually go to SAACA.org and get your tickets. There's a few general admission tickets left.
I know it sells out every year.
SAACA.org, and it's going to be at El Conquistador. It's a great, beautiful place to go in.
Evening before Labor Day. Hopefully, y'all have Monday off. Like, come and enjoy.
Yep, definitely don't have Monday off, but
I know. I know. I said hopefully.
it's the part of being a small business, right? You go,
Yeah,
and
definitely. Well,
you're available when other people are available.
We get it. I was just telling someone earlier, ranching's a 24/7 business, so
Yes.
guys are always on call. I thankfully am not, but.
And I think that's it. And for those just tuning in, if you want early access to exclusive dinners, tastings, and chef experiences, become a member of the Tucson Tasty Show at thetastyshow.com. It's where you'll find the best restaurants in town that have partnered with us. You get a secret menu item when you go in with a secret password that we email out every month. And for every 10 items that you purchase, you get a $25 gift card. And that's on top of anything that the restaurants are offering for their rewards program. So it's really cool partnership that we have with the restaurants. Well, let's wrap things up. Vera Earl Premium Beef. How can you bring it home? And how can we get in touch with you? Can we do ranch tours? How can people engage with the ranch more?
Yeah, so if you guys, again, are interested in the beef, you can always check out our website. It is, you can actually check out VeraEarlRanch.com. It's V as in Victor, E-R-A, Ranch. I'm sorry. V as in Victor, E-R-A, Earl, E-A-R-L, and then ranch.com. That'll tell you all about the ranch, the history, everything that we do. And then if you want to check out just the beef site, it is vepremiumbeef.com. You can go on there, check out our cuts. But I always encourage
From
people...
your ranch to their table.
Exactly. Come down to our store in Sonoyta. We're at 3282 Highway 82 in Sonoyta. You can Google Maps, whatever you want to do, Vera Earl Premium Beef. It'll bring you right to our address. And if you come down to Sonoyta, you actually drive straight through the heart of the ranch. It literally straddles both sides of the highway, so you can't go wrong. It's a beautiful drive. It's a little bit cooler than Tucson right now. We actually have our Labor Day rodeo this weekend, so if you're looking for something fun to do, you guys can come down there, swing by the store on your way home, grab some beef.
So you can go there in the morning, go check out the ranch and everything, head down through Patagonia and hit up the Nogales Bacanora Festival, and then come back up through to Salsa Tequila. I mean, that sounds like a great weekend.
Wow,
it's a long. It's. I bet it's only an hour and a half driving. Really,
it's like the beef and tequila trail. But yeah, I mean, come down and visit the store.
Yes.
Call us, email us. We deliver. We work with everybody here in town. So again, if you're interested in retail deliveries, hit us up.
Perfect. vepremiumbeef.com and that umami flavor you're missing from all your other beef. I'm not saying that anybody has to eat your beef, but they really should. I mean, just 100%.
You should always just
give it a try.
I think, really quickly, if I have a second, that's one more thing to point out is that a lot of times people think local beef, I have to buy a half a beef or a quarter of a beef. You guys can come in and buy 1 steak or 1 pound of ground beef. Yeah. You don't have to. Now, you can leave with 1 pound of ground beef. You can leave with all the way up to a whole cow. I mean, we'll definitely sell it to you, but you don't have to buy those big bulk packages. And again, that's something that we...
The Tasty Show box, which is a collaboration that we've done.
It is,
and it's a subscription box. It changes every month, but
it does.
Every month you get 5 pounds of ground beef. You get 2 select cuts, 2 surprise cuts, and a beef snack.
1 snack item, yep.
And it's delivered right to your front door. So truly, an amazing way to get some amazing beef. And all of that for only $99.
That is correct.
Which is really cool because even if you're going to the grocery store and everything else, and once you really break down what's in those boxes, you're actually paying less than what you're paying at the grocery store for your beef.
And again, it's delivered.
And it's delivered, so you don't have to worry about it. And that covers 7 to 10 meals too. I mean, 5 pounds of ground beef and then grillables and everything else. So, and those snacks, the beef snacks, are addicting. They're amazing and aggressive. for me.
Yeah.
But I also know what they are.
Yes,
You know, I can
that
tell
is
you what
correct.
they are, and it's garlic and it's onion, or it's the chili. You know, it's not something that's odd or out of the ordinary. So.
That is very true.
If you're a business, partner with us. The Tucson Tasty Show offers advertising and sponsorships to connect your brand to Tucson's tastiest audience. That's you as well. That's all for today's show. Big thank you to Sonora and Vera Earl Premium Beef for joining us, and thank you for tuning in. Until next week, stay tasty, Tucson.